Hello everyone. So we will start with to get to know about how to work with BitBucket, SourceTree, as well as integrating all those uh, platforms such as BitBucket, SourceTree, Git to our PyCharm. So first of all, I will have you'll be creating your account in the BitBucket, and there's a thing to remember. So if you sign up for BitBucket with the like other than the university ID, and if you have more than 5 members in your team, suppose six, so you need to pay for each user $2 per month in order to support your team's collaboration. But if you sign up using your like university email, you can as you can add as many as the academic collaborators to your repositories. So So when you sign up, make sure you are using the university email ID. So I will start working with BitBucket and I will create a new repository. I will click on the plus button here and click on repository. I will name this as get demo. I will mark this as a private repository. You can add a README file. It's your preference what you want. For the version control system, make sure you are using Git and click on creating the repository. So once the repository is created in the Bitbucket, you will get a URL for your repository that connects from your local system to the remote. So you will just copy this thing right now, starting with HTTPS. Then you will open SourceTree. So SourceTree is a software that helps to visualize. It's kind of like a user interface for Git. So rather than using the normal command line or terminal window, it's easy to visualize what's going on with the repositories by using this source tree. So it's a very simple installation process. I think it's available for both Mac and Windows. So I will open source tree as it's already installed in my system. I will then click on new and select clone from URL. So there is this URL. I will copy it here, and they'll ask for my credentials that's related to BitBucket, like password. I think this password was related to my keychain that's related to Mac, uh, but not the BitBucket one. So you can enter your password depending on your privacy settings. It will have different one. So now I have to select the directory where I want to make that file. I will make this in a desktop, and I will make this BitBucket demo. I click on clone. It's again asking for my password. And now, so there's like nothing new, nothing like any updates or status history. So we will now begin to add some files to it. We'll start with opening our PyCharm. So when you are making a new project, so when you directly clone something from your Git report repository, so let me show you what I mean. First thing that I need to do is make a file with the extension .git. Ignore everything small and lowercase, and here we need to add the folders and everything. Uh, the configuration details of IDE may differ from system to system, and so we don't want to add all those details and push to the Git remote, like BitBucket remote repository, as it's quite irrelevant. So in order to ignore that, so when we click on push repository and you don't want to add all those configuration details, you can just ignore that. So there is a website that helps us to get there. We'll click on get ignored, or we'll go to getignore.io. We'll select PyCharm, select Django, since later we'll be working with Django, and click on create. So copy this and paste it here. So I will not go with too much details. I will just go with like important ones. So as you know, you have created the virtual environment for this project. So it's not a good idea to push your entire folder of virtual environment to the Git repository. So when you click on like pushing everything from your local to remote, it just ignores the Git, checks the .git ignore file, and it just ignores all this uh, unnecessary folders that is filtered to your this. I think this is all related to your IDE settings and all. So now we'll uh, so now if we go back to SourceTree, yeah. So what I was saying is, you can see that as soon as we added .git ignore, all that file that we just saw, or the settings folder that was related to the ID, just gone away. So we don't see that. We just see that we have to only commit one file, that is .git ignore. So this file is added to our local system. Now we want to push to the Git repository, the remote one. So here you can see in the user interface, we are getting a notification from the commit side as one. So before pushing anything to the remote, you have to make sure that it's been the changes to your local repository hasn't committed. So I will add the commit first. So you need to add the commit on the like any sort of comment like what changes you made. So I will add like added get ignore file and click on commit. After committing, then I need to push the commits to a remote. I will click on push. I will select the branch. So right now there's only one branch, that is master, and we click on OK. Again, ask for my password. So here you can track your history of changes and everything, like what changes you made and how you and the history of commits. So now if I navigate to my remote one, I click on refresh, you can see that get ignore file is now being added to the to my remote repository. So if I click on this file, I can even view the contents of the file. I can also edit, but it's better if you were working with the IDE that you edit from there. And so this is the basic workflow for the Git. So whenever we make a new project or a new repository, like cloning from the repository, make sure you add your .gitignore file. It's very important, as unnecessary or unrelevant folders or files will get added to the repository, remote repository, and it's of like no use. It will just be there, and it's not a good uh, thing to do that. So in the next video, I will talk about branches and merging your changes. Right now, we have only focus on the master branch. Master branch is the code, like the only branch that exists by default when you make the when you initialize your Git. So all the changes is like being transferred to that branches. So if you click on the branch, you will see that this is the branch for the main uh, like main root for the project.